Hello and welcome. I'm calling this the Corona Challenge series, as we're all being kind of challenged outside of our regular way of doing things. We're being challenged to face the world, face ourselves, face our lives with clarity, with an open heart and an open mind. This program is for anyone, whether you're new to meditation or you're trying to sort of amp up your old practice and you're finding it's the perfect companion for navigating this new normal. And my name is Sarah McLean. I've been teaching meditation for 25 years. I've been teaching in so many places. I think the weirdest place I ever taught was at a recycling center where there were no chairs, and I was sitting on a platform covered with crushed cans and bottles that were destined for, I think, Mexico. And no one could actually sit down to meditate with me. So I guided them in a standing meditation outside in the heat. And, but you know, anyone can meditate, and you can meditate almost anywhere. As long as you don't need your faculties to operate heavy machinery or to navigate some steep terrain, you could just sit down, close your eyes if you want, and meditate. And it's everybody's birthright to be able to meditate. As some of you know, I teach this a lot, so I'm just going to catch you up if you're new to this program. The only requirements for meditation are really three. The first is your willingness to partake in it, your willingness to give it a shot. Second, you need your non-judgmental, gentle attention. And it's not an attention that's full of effort. It's an attention that is gentle and open without a lot of accompanying judgment and ideas and stories. And the third requirement for any meditation, or most meditations, is what you put your attention on. But let's go back to number two, that gentle awareness. So some people would say that what's looking through your eyes is love. I would say that. And your unbridled attention, your open awareness is like a beam of love. And so let's just look at that. Let's practice noticing what's around us. And you can even just maintain a neutral attention as you begin now to notice some shapes around you. Look for anything that happens to be rectangular. Rectangular items in your room or outside of your room, if you can see out the window. And now bring your attention to your feet on the floor and the hands in your lap. You can keep your eyes open to do this. Simply bring your gentle, open attention to the sensation of your feet on the floor or your hands in your lap. And now bring your attention to the sounds you might be hearing in the room or even outside of the room. And then you can bring it back to maybe the sensation of the breath moving in and out of your body. So what this simple exercise just illustrated is that the type of attention you need is simply that observational attention. You didn't need super Jedi powers to see rectangles in the room. You didn't need special powers to feel your feet on the floor, your hands in your lap. And you also didn't need them to listen to the sounds that are around you. And so in meditation, we're going to use a gentle attention, one that moves from the focus of your attention back to the focus of your attention again and again, anytime you notice your attention has drifted away. So you don't need a whole lot of drama. You simply need the ability to focus your attention on what you want to focus it on. Now, one of the issues around meditation are some of the misconceptions, such as you're supposed to magically stop thinking about anything else but your meditation while you're meditating. And for those of you who have been on these calls for a while, you know all kinds of thoughts are going to arise. Thoughts about the future, thoughts about your body. Emotions are going to arise. Sounds in the environment are going to distract you. Sounds that other people who don't mute themselves might distract you. All kinds of distractions will arise in meditation. And it's good to know that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. The job is, whenever you notice that your attention is distracted from maybe the instruction or the focus in the meditation, you bring it back again and again and again. The reason we're doing this at all is to be able to pay attention to what we want to pay attention to, rather than having our attention hijacked by somebody else's opinions, somebody's posts on Facebook, maybe some concerns that are on the news. You know, you are the only one who can decide what you want to pay attention to and how you want to pay attention. That is you. It's all you. There's nothing I can do to change the way you pay attention or hijack your attention or even call your attention to me. You're the one who gives permission. You're the one who decides what you want to pay attention to, whether it be a particular thought, a particular sound, a particular sensation, or some particular media that you invite into your space. So it's important to know that, because this practice is so important in this day and age as we're navigating some of the challenging news and information that we're exposed to, and then being able to reclaim our attention. Reclaim your attention to focus on what is important to you. It might be something as simple as focusing on what you're grateful for, or focusing on your emotions and as they arise and show up in your life, and then how they affect your body. You might decide you want to focus your attention on how content you are, maybe with these little less to-do lists and a little more to-be lists. Maybe you start to pay attention to the people in front of you or the situation at hand, rather than time traveling into the past or future. So, you know, this is a beautiful opportunity to be alone together on this platform called Zoom, and also to really hone your ability to pay attention, because what you pay attention to has a direct correlation on your physiology and your mental well-being. So you're the only one. You're the medicine woman. You're the medicine man. You're the one who gets to decide what you're going to pay attention to and how you're going to pay attention. So today's meditation, I really like doing. About a year or two ago, I think it's probably a year and a half ago, I was in England where I teach a lot, and I was at Isaac Newton's house. You know, he discovered gravity, right? The story goes that he was at his home and he saw apples falling from the tree, and he asked the question, why are these falling down and not up, right? Now, I'm sure it was a little more profound than that, and his curiosity was wild. He was able to understand prisms of light and also gravity and a lot of relationship to the heavenly bodies. So I went to his house. It's open there in England, and I led a meditation under the apple tree, which is still there. And I was there one year doing that, but the year before I was with Dan Siegel. Some of you know him. He has a company called Mindsight, and he was leading us into a meditation called the Wheel of Awareness, Dr. Dan Siegel. And I want to share this meditation with you today. You'll find it very familiar if you've been joining me in some of these meditations. But I think you'll find it a little bit different languaging. So I'm going to suggest, see if I can share this screen with you, because it will be fun for you to have the visual. And for those of you on the phone, I'm going to go ahead and describe it a little bit. But imagine a wheel. And if you can't read it, I'll just describe it for you. Imagine a wheel, like a wheel of a bicycle. And in the center of the wheel is a hub, right? Just like where the spokes arise from. That hub is what we've been talking about all along, is that center point of peace inside you, that sanctuary in your heart, or that soul center that is stable in the midst of the change, stable as the wheel turns. It's a little less active. So in this wheel, or in the center of the wheel, there's the feeling of calmness and receptivity, clarity, awareness, openness and peace. On the exterior of the wheel, and we're going to imagine that the spokes are going to go along the exterior of the wheel. And we're going to move from the mental activities to the, let's see, we're going to start with first the five senses: touch, taste, smell, sight, hearing. Then we're going to feel the interior of the body. Then we're going to start to pay attention to the mental activities that are going on. And I'm going to invite you also to pay attention to your emotional content. And then we're going to start to pay attention to the way we're interconnected, even though we may only just see or hear each other, but the ways in which we're interconnected. And so I'm going to guide us into this meditation. It should take us about 20 minutes, maybe a little less. And as usual, I'm going to invite you to sit comfortably with your eyes either closed or capped. And also, you can just keep your hands resting in your lap. You can have them resting up or down, clasped gently. As we move into the Wheel of Awareness practice, it's a reflective practice, which helps our ability to focus on individual aspects of our perception. You know, we just earlier started perceiving shapes and sensations and sounds, and now we're going to start perceiving some other aspects of our perception. So let's close the eyes and begin, if you can, to deepen your breath, ideally through your nose. Giving yourself 3 long, slow, deep breaths. Sending a signal to your body that, you know what, this is a little time for relaxation. There's nowhere to be. We're going to explore this wheel of awareness. And then letting your breath return to its natural rhythm and depth. And you can sense now the natural rhythm of your breathing. As we do this practice, we're going to imagine our attention is like a spoke in the wheel, coming from the center point of us, like a beam of light. And we'll first begin to bring the attention or the spoke onto what you're seeing. Now you can, if you like, open your eyes slightly and notice space and color and light and shadow. Or you can simply allow what's coming through your eyelids, the light that may be coming right through your closed eyelids. Just taking a moment to explore your sense of sight. Almost welcoming what's here, welcoming what you perceive. And I invite you to close your eyes again if you like, or keep them capped, gazing toward the floor. And now allow that beam of attention that spoke to welcome everything you're hearing. Whether the sounds are near or far. Recognizing sound is not a barrier to meditation. And sounds come and go. And then bringing your attention now to sensation. What you feel as you're sitting here. Perhaps your hands on your lap, or the air on your skin. Or even whatever emotions are present. Noticing movement and stillness. And now bringing your attention to the sense of smell. And notice if there are any aromas in your environment. And bringing your attention to the sense of taste. Are there any flavors in your mouth? So being with all your senses, the sense of sight, sense of sound, sense of touch, the sense of smell, the sense of taste. Now we're going to bring the spoke to the sixth sense, the inner sensations of your body. Move your focus all throughout your entire body as you become aware of sensations that you feel on the inside. Perhaps you feel your belly or your lungs or your heart or any other organs of your body. Allow your gentle, non-judgmental attention to rest on these various internal organs, as well as the muscles and bones and blood throughout your entire body. Feeling the sensations from the top of your head to the bottoms of your feet, from the front and the back of you. Continuing this without a story about these various areas, simply noticing maybe the liquid or the solids, the space or the movement. Or the air that moves in and out. We're going to continue this practice with this attitude of kindness toward ourselves as you bring that spoke of attention to the activities of your mind. These include your thoughts, your memories, whatever hopes or beliefs are here. Perhaps you notice some longings or images, attitudes or intentions. Just notice this landscape of your mind. If you'd like to label what you see or feel or think, you can do that. And now become aware of what enters your mind. Notice the movement of the thoughts or movement of emotions. As we know, none of these are permanent. Invite any mental activity to come into your awareness. And now let's pay particular attention to how these mental activities enter and leave your awareness. Where does a thought arise from? Where does it go? Whether you see or feel or hear some particular activity, does it come up gradually or suddenly? Do thoughts and emotions and imagery stay constant, or do they fade in and out? And if they do fade in and out, how do they leave? Do they leave because they're replaced by something else? And is there a gap between these activities? So as we've been practicing sending the spoke of your attention out from the hub, this time, allow it to bend back toward itself, directing your attention to focus on its source. Become aware of being aware, and be patient with yourself. Be kind. What is the source of your attention? And now we're going to explore the sense of connecting to what we perceive as outside of ourselves. I invite you to explore with your eyes closed where you begin and end, or perhaps you don't sense any separation. Bring your awareness now to the people or pets who are physically close to you, perhaps in the room with you or in the other room or in the other side of your apartment or your neighbors. Get a sense of the life force there. And then allow your attention to expand to include those you feel close to, your family, your friends. So allow them to enter the screen of your awareness or get a sense of them. And widening your circle to others you're engaged with. Perhaps people you work with or who work for you or you volunteer with, people in your classes, students and teachers, healthcare professionals, people who support you in your life. Then widen your sense of connection to those of us on the call. Even if you're listening to this as a recording, the people from Connecticut or Washington or Utah, California, Canada, Ireland, England. So many beautiful people, that community of practice. Get a sense of them. Including now as many people as you'd like, as you widen your sense of connection. Perhaps starting with your home and then your neighbors, your city. Perhaps the county you live in, the province. And the country. Including all living beings, all your neighbors, all your kin. And to all living beings on this planet. You're connecting to them just by thinking about them and bringing them into your awareness. Offering a prayer or a blessing that blanket the whole world, the whole planet. May all beings be happy. May they be free from suffering. May they feel connected and safe. In your own words, adding whatever you feel is important. And then bringing the attention back towards yourself. To that hub from where your attention arises. And notice if you can experience the qualities of peacefulness and clarity, restfulness and connection, awareness and compassion. Resting in this center point of view. I'm going to sound the bell to take us out of the meditation, but I invite you to keep your eyes closed, bathing in the stillness, bathing in the nourishment of this restful awareness, appreciating this moment. So if your eyes are still closed, you can deepen your breath, become aware once again of your connection to everything around you, everything you perceive, and not losing sight of that hub that's the spoke arises from, the awareness that lives through you as you. I like to call it love. And if you care to do this, you can bring your hands together and put your thumbs towards your breastbone. And honor the time you've been spending creating more peace on this planet just by taking care of your nervous system and connecting with that permanent part of you, that awareness that though everything else can change, that awareness is steady and loving and strong. And that same awareness that lives through you as you, lives through me as me, and lives through all of us. Taking this time to resource our love, our safety, our peace, and settling the nervous system. So namaste. I invite you to open your eyes at your own pace, taking your time, maybe with a downward gaze, noticing how you feel before opening your eyes all the way. No rush. It's always good to take your time, moving from the state of meditation to the waking state. And wow, that time flew. That was a while. That was a fun meditation. It's got you, you're doing a lot in there, but it certainly settles the nervous system as it gives your attention something to hang on to rather than traveling into the future and starting to worry. You know, some of our default neural networks take us there. So how are you doing? How are you feeling? Someone says you felt a lot of love. Yay. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else feeling more peaceful or a little more aware of themselves? I'm going to unmute us. And so if you'd like to mute yourself, you know where the mute buttons are. Would anyone like to share? How was that? Well, I see a lot of beautiful faces. I'm just going to say hello to all the people I recognize.
I'll share. I was going to say at first I thought that there were too many instructions, like too much to focus on. But then I was so, my nervous system was so calm the whole time. So yeah, which is great because the last meditation at noon, I had major monkey mind. So it was
Right.
like, so maybe that's what I needed, but it felt really good. So thank you.
Great. Well, I think what this really does is it continually moves your attention so you can't get a story going about anything.
Right.
You
Totally.
basically, it's like move here, now move here, and it wakes up the observer, the observer mind,
Yeah.
which is nice because really when we observe without a whole lot of stories, we can really start to notice the effect that our attention has on our nervous system, What am I paying attention to and how does that feel inside? Yeah, it's a lot of instruction. I said to him once, Dan, don't you think transcendence is underrated? Because I was like, I think that's really important. And when my mind is so busy, sometimes it doesn't get an opportunity to unplug. But it does create the result of peacefulness and clarity.
Yeah, and it reminded me of his book, his last book. I loved Mindsight, but his last book, I can't remember what it's called right now, but I have it. And I haven't gotten through it because it's so wordy. There's so much explanation on the wheel. It's all about that wheel. And I'm just like, whew, he's making, maybe it's a simple concept, very wordy. So maybe
Yeah,
I'll
but
get
I'm
to it
sure
someday.
he teaches this a lot. I think he's at UC Berkeley. I could be wrong, but I think he's there, and I think he teaches this a lot. And it's he's teaching to college students who want to really dive deep and understand the mechanics of this, whereas many of us, don't need to understand it. It's just like you don't have to understand how your car works in order to drive it. I mean, you don't have to understand the mechanics of it in order to drive it. You do know how to use the brakes. So anyone else like to share? Thanks, Audra. I'm glad it worked for you.
I'm looking at the sunset in Florida. I appreciate your voice and all of your words. I'm very wordy, and I was able to just move in and out of the awareness of the words and listen and not listen. So that was fun playing with that.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I love the aware of being aware because there's a lot of beware, like fear-based beware. So I really played with everything you've been saying consistently, which is, where is my attention right now? And so I am really deeply grateful and to everyone and the spokes. I love the wheel image, and it's very comforting to know that we're all here. I really find that very healing. Thank you.
Thank you. I do too. I love spending my day with you. Even though it might not be the same crowd every meditation, it's still really sweet, and I feel a lot of connection and support. And I think it's helpful for many of us who are sequestered and afraid to go out. In California, I know we're really that way, and there's nowhere to go unless you want to go or again. But there's really nowhere to go. So except for go outside or go inside.
The dance.
Yeah. Anyone else care to share?
I'll check in.
Sarah, it's Laura.
Hey, Laura.
I missed your earlier two today, but I was able to go really deep on this one. And I don't think I fell asleep, but I felt like I was in a different realm. And that, I think it's because I've been working so much with you this with this series that it's really, I'm really getting trained now, and I appreciate that. And this was a good meditation. For some reason, I was following you, but I was too. So,
Good. Good.
this guy who wrote the book, what was his name?
Dan Siegel. Dan Siegel. I think it's Siegel. Let me just make sure. Siegel, Dr. Dan Siegel. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, he's brilliant and such a sweetheart. Really sweet man. Really. He was really good friends with that poet I keep bringing up, John O'Donohue.
I like that.
So it's
song.
really sweet. Yeah. Someone else was in the middle of saying hello, or?
Well, I was going to check in and say something. I never know what's going to come out of this mouth, but when I open it up, so
I understand.
oh, geez. But I really feel such a deep calm. It's really, really lovely. And it's been 24 hours since I've done a meditation, a little more than that. And I really sat here with you, and it's just so amazing. Just the peace. And I watched all my little thoughts coming in and out, and all my little observations and stuff. But the spaciousness and, being removed from that and just being in a space that allows that to just happen and not get connected and brought into it. There's no energy there. It's just kind of released. So yeah, it was wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And what's your first name?
Mariana.
Mariana. Okay, great.
Yeah, Jamia, but Mariana House.
Oh, great. Thanks for being here. Yep, we are doing this 3 times a day. We're going to start 4 times next week. See how long we go. This will just be a regular channel, like a television station. But we've got
thank you so much.
Yeah, we got a 7 a.m. coming up next week. But right now we have them at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Pacific, and right now 4 p.m. Pacific, which is 12, 3, and 7 p.m. And then we'll start an earlier one.
And I keep inviting everybody too, but they haven't come yet, I don't think.
Well, you can just, all you can do is lead a horse to water.
I know, I just, I think it'd be so wonderful for them. Yeah, and for me to have them here too. So anyway, yeah, thanks.
You never know, you're planting a seed, and they are all recorded, and I am starting to upload them.
Right, and then the seeds all come in one time, right? It's like we can plant our seeds, and then all of a sudden, wow.
Yep, exactly. But you just want to steer clear of being a meditation evangelist. Many of us are benefiting from meditation, but you can't force feed anyone meditation. It's not helpful. Anyone else care to share? And are we doing this on Saturday and Sunday? The answer is yes, we are. We do it every single day. This is my favorite thing. This is what I was born to do. Who else would like to share?
Hi, Sarah.
Hi. Hey, how are you doing, Stacy?
I'm great. That knocked me out, which is wonderful. I have done dance meditation before, and even though it seems busy, I think it's just another way of saying all the pieces that you cover in your meditations. I mean, you do the loving kindness and the body relaxation and the thoughts. So you really do cover. It's just it's a very different kind of a presentation. And what happened today is typically the part of the meditation when you have the spoke turn and look at you. That always feels like it brings up kind of a little contraction and some resistance sometimes. And so whatever reason, I just want to share with other people to see if this is helpful. Today, I just let that go and just didn't follow it exactly. Instead, I just kind of drifted. I zoomed out and looked at myself as a whole instead of kind of bending the iron. And that just felt a little more gentle and worked pretty well for me. So
yeah, well, it is, we've talked before about sort of the Japanese koan that are questions that stop the mind. One of them being, who am I? And this is a little bit like that. And I know we always work as meditation teachers with attention, right? Because it's one of the fundamental aspects of meditation, is that second ingredient, gentle attention. So because we work with it a lot, that I'm constantly asking, where is that attention arising from? Where does that attention arise from? And that is like probably I'll die with that question. It's like Einstein constantly wondering about relativity or the unified field theory. You know, for me, it's like, where does the attention arise from? And no answer is sufficient, you know. And so, yeah, I like what you did to create that piece, because it can be jarring, a little discombobulating. But that's why I wrote that book, The Power of Attention, which is right here, which is all about that, right? Awaken to love and its unlimited potential with meditation. So, yeah, that's a question. Where does that attention arise from? Can you turn that beam of attention that you're giving me back towards itself, towards its home? Good. It's a good practice. Crazy. Anyone else care to share? Well, I want to thank. Oh, yay. Hi. Hi, Teresa.
Hey, I was just going to say, in the beginning, it was so much about, because I read your book and I love that book. I like the first one because it got me practicing, but that second one with all about the, what is the attention to the attention? I really, when you were talking today about it, that really grounded me. So.
Cool. I don't know who's sharing their screen here, but thank you. But thanks, Teresa. Yeah, I love this. I love the questions, Let me see who's sharing. It's Lita. I'm going to have you stop sharing. 1 second here. Stop your sharing. Okay, there. So thank you. And are you in Florida?
I am, and I was meditating with Susie this morning, which was so great because of the time difference. And then, so now I'm trying to do morning and evening and get back into it. And it is so powerful, and it helps so much to just center you from the news and from this and from whatever. It's great.
Yeah, great.
And the sound of your voice.
Here. Oh, I love having you here, Teresa.